Alright, this one is going to be a bit different because I wasn't able to record any usable audio during the actual trip because I was using a dive housing on my camera. It was an extremely wet and humid trip, and you can probably tell in some of these clips that even with moisture absorbers in the dive housing, my camera was fogging up like crazy. I was initially planning on scrapping this whole video, but the trip was so beautiful that I couldn't pass up the opportunity to share some of it with you. We left early in the morning from the village we'd been staying in for the last few weeks, and it was the last Sunday of our time there, and after living 24/7 in extreme heat and humidity for the last few weeks, the cool breeze from the boat ride felt incredible, even if we had to wear long sleeves and pants to keep the sun off. We passed all kinds of crazy sights along the way, from children standing in dugout canoes to cows blocking the river. We passed many smaller villages that were part of the same talk place or language group as the village we'd been staying in. And every village that we passed was slightly more waterbound until eventually we started passing communities that never even see dry land during the entire rainy season. Everything from their gardens to livestock pens and outhouses are all floating, and the only way to get to them is by canoe or small wooden bridges. There were a few sections of river that were so full of floating lilies and other debris that we had to stop and clear a path for the boat with sticks and with our hands. It was incredibly slow going, and the breeze that we'd had before was immediately replaced by plague-like levels of mosquitoes and water beetles and heat. I didn't get a whole lot of shots of this part because I was too busy trying to kill the mosquitoes, or gnats as they're called in Talkpisan. After we arrived in Angoram, we spent a few hours walking around, storing with some of our new friends there, and before we knew it, it was already time to go back. We got back in the boat and headed back to our village home. On the way back, we stopped at a crocodile farm. A few of the guys in the boat got out of the water, so without thinking, I jumped out with them. It wasn't until about halfway through getting the shot that I realized I was standing barefoot in zero visibility water right next to a bunch of hungry crocs during feeding time with very little confidence in the rusty fence separating me from them. It ended up being alright, and I left with all of my fingers and toes attached and some really great memories to boot. The rest of the trip was basically the same as the morning, but in reverse. We got stuck a few more times, we got a few hundred more mosquito bites, and we got some really incredible views of the villages on the water. The last bit of the trip, right before the sunset, was the most beautiful to me. We were in a hurry to get back, and everyone was a little tired and a lot sunburned, so the boat captain, our wasp papa, went a bit faster than we had the rest of the day. The cool breeze and the smells of the water were diverse and strong, but the sights were definitely the best part. These clips can do a better job of showing you than I can with words, so I'm going to let them do the talking. Thanks for riding along with me.